Hey, everybody. I am Kevin Ioli, and welcome to Yahoo Sports. And my next guest is a guy that he was called a madman by his teammate. I think that was meant as a compliment, not as a bashing. Justin Gaethje, the lightweight, is joining me. He's going to be in a big fight with Michael Chandler at UFC 268. And I'll tell you what, Michael, good news today. You're opening up that pay-per-view card. That's going to be a bang right away. That's were you expecting to be early on the show like that?
Oh, I think I had an idea before most everybody. Yeah. That was something that we've been working on. I mean, for Trevor to go back to back to back would be very, at the end of the day, Kamaru would get no time with him before his fight. And, ultimately I'm okay and happy with opening the card, if they want to put me first fight of the night, as long as they pay me what they're paying me and I get the opportunities that I get from a W, that's all that matters. But yeah, I want to be, being the third fight from the last or opening up the main card isn't a huge difference for me.
I just thought it was a great, I had talked to Kamaru about that the other day about Trevor doing the last three fights. And, he kind of sloughed it off. It wasn't a big deal, but it seemed like, it'd be easier for both Kamaru and Trevor to do it this way. So I'm glad. And plus your fight should be a crazy sick fight right off the hop, right?
Yeah. Get going. Then the rest of the card better keep it up.
Is there, hard feelings between you and Chandler? I mean, or is it just the natural competitiveness that you have when you're in a big fight?
Yeah, I think it's the natural competitiveness along with the fact that he's trying to take, everything from me. And he's super dangerous. I got to make this as real as possible. The danger has to be real so that I can go to the primal state that I need to go to fight somebody and hurt somebody with no regard for their safety or mine. So yeah, that takes it's a process. The danger has to be real. The danger has to be as real as someone having a gun in your face. You have to, our body does a crazy thing where, we're naturally, we release chemicals, toxins, all kinds of shit, and then we are able to sustain pain and perform under that pressure. And that's the place I'm trying to go.
When do you get to that mental space? Like, is it on your way to the arena when you get there, or is it when you wake up in the morning on fight day?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a process. You have to make the danger as real as possible. So every single day I've tried to, tell myself how, for one, dangerous Michael is, how dangerous this sport is, how dangerous this situation that I've walked myself into is, and then accept the reality. Accept the fact that chance and luck are a slight factor. And when you could do that, I think for me, I go to a really primal space and I love living in that time. I'm glad I only have to do it 2 times a year because, it's a very unforgiving place. It's a traumatic life experience. Every time you're willing to hurt somebody with no regard for their family, it takes something special. So yeah, it's a process.
Yeah, there's no doubt. When you look at his fight with Oliveira, what do you take from that? I mean, I think fans looked at it and said one of the best fights of the year, and just this, crazy back and forth and how close he came actually to being the lightweight champion. What do you take from it as a guy that's looking to fight him? Was there anything that stuck out to you from that Oliveira fight?
Yeah, I mean, with that fight and every other fight, I mean, how dangerous he is, how aggressive he is in the first round, especially the first 2 or 3 minutes. He comes out and he goes balls to the wall, tries to get the finish right off the bat, and I appreciate that. I'm going to embrace that. And again, yeah, that fire is where I live, and that chaos is what I desire. So, it's coming on Saturday night and I cannot wait to live there.
I think, Usman said it the other day, said, you're not as crazy as some people think you are in terms of the way that there's a method to the madness of the way you approach things. But it seems like even, you made an adjustment after getting to the UFC where when you first started, it was completely balls to the wall. And maybe now, like your Ferguson fight, you were much more under control than we've seen you in the past. Is that something that you work with Trevor on trying to get down? And will that be the thing for this fight, or do you have to go back to the old Justin?
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I was 18-0, going into that fight with Eddie Alvarez. And if it's not broke, you don't fix it. And
Right.
At that time, my mindset was, who will quit first, trade blow for blow and see who can outlast the other person. That was my method. I would say I wasn't using the skills that I possessed at the time, and with that, I was able to go back to the drawing board and really understand the skills that my coach had been developing over the years. And I embraced utilizing those skills more so than utilizing my my tough mentality or my heart. Those are big factors, but at this level, we all have big hearts. We all have, you call them small brains or whatever you want to call it. We're willing to go out there and give everything. And every single guy that I'm going to step in here has the same mindset in that regard. So yeah, it was just go back to the drawing board, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. And whenever it got broke, I didn't believe it the first time. Again, even in both those two fights, you could make an argument that they were working. But that's not the way. That's not the way to fight longer. And I do possess some really incredible skills. And if I could just take my time, set up my shots, now that I could see things, my ability to judge distance and my reaction times are faster. So I need to rely on those.
You mentioned your coach, Trevor Wittman, and he's an incredible guy, and doesn't get a lot of attention. You hear people talked about as the best coach in MMA, and this is a guy with 2 UFC champions. You've got yourself that could be potentially fighting for the championship early next year. What makes Trevor so good, and what is it about the message he sends that resonates so much with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's his ability to teach fundamentals, to instill fundamental skills into our repertoire. Me and Kamaru are wrestlers. Wrestlers are very coachable, and his mind, he's an artist. He can make a purse, he can make shoes, he makes boxing gloves, he makes his own pads, he makes our own shin guards, he makes our small gloves, he makes our headgears. The man's mind works differently. I'm not an artist, I can't play an instrument. And my mind doesn't work like that. I'm a doer, do. You tell me what to do and I'll do it. And he's able to teach, in a different way that can't really explain, but you could see it. It's you see it in Rose, you see it in the short time he's been with Kamaru, and you see it in me. So yeah, he's a great teacher.
Amazing stuff from him. Kind of curious your thought. First of all, how do you handicap Oliveira and Poirier? I mean, I think that's going to be a fantastic fight. How do you see that fight going? Who has the advantage, and what do you think would be the key for each guy in that one?
I mean, whoever has the advantage is the guy that can stay off their back. You can't win a fight on your back. That's just is what it is. Poirier's Oliveira's takedowns aren't incredible. It's a lot of body locks, a lot of trips. He doesn't have a blast double leg to blast through you necessarily. His length and his leverage are really big factors when it comes to his grappling. But yeah, you don't want to play jiu-jitsu with Charles Oliveira. Dustin Poirier doesn't want to play jiu-jitsu with Charles Oliveira. So, I think Poirier is better on the feet, but I do think Oliveira does possess some crazy skills. His experience in this game is second to none. So I think him and Poirier, they've been around for a long time. They'll probably be combined the most fights ever to fight for a title. Something. So yeah, I mean, whoever makes a mistake first, at this level is going to lose. And I don't know who that's going to be.
Interesting. Given you had the experience of fighting Khabib for the title, had a good first round and a bad second round. How much does that impact you now? You fought for titles in other organizations, but what it takes at the highest level. What it requires to win in the UFC at the championship level. How much do you think that prepares you when eventually you get the next championship shot in the UFC?
I mean, I think it'll be a huge factor. Anytime you can experience something, whether you win or lose, you learn. And, that was a learning opportunity for me. First time fighting, in an actual title fight. There was no fans, so there was a lot of differences when it comes to the next time I'll fight for a title. But yeah, it was the preparation. Confidence is a huge factor, and going through that, you see it tends to take some confidence away. So I had to go back, and I really got to trust my coach and in my abilities that have got me here. And that's, you have to trust the process, and that was part of the process.
couple other things, and we'll let you roll. Appreciate your time so much. When you walk back to your corner after fighting Khabib after the first round, what was your thought? Good, I got this, or hey, I need to get better.
Man, it was that was a weird one. When I woke up, and this is gonna sound like an excuse, but when I woke up and I fought Tony Ferguson, my heart rate that morning was sitting at like 36. And when I woke up and I fought Khabib, my heart rate that morning was at like 72. So that I knew something was not right. I don't know what it was, and I don't think I'll ever have an answer. Whether it being halfway across the planet, if you're a creature of habit, you were completely out of your world. There was nothing there that I could keep, a structure to. I had no control of food, water, anything. No control of the time zone. Those may have all been factors. I'm not sure. I don't know why my body wasn't primed to perform that day. And I felt it after the first round. I felt every single bit of it. I felt tired, exhausted. And I'm sure most of it was his ability to walk through my shots and put constant pressure on me. That is probably the biggest factor. And the other factors I can't understand or explain.
Yeah, interesting. And finally, do you feel having worked with Kamaru, he used to train with Chandler. I don't know if he shared any secrets. Does that give you any more insights than you get other than just watching film, and that will help you on Saturday, having been with him?
No, when you're walking into something like this, where it's less than inches, less than seconds, you cannot plan for those types of scenarios. I have to go in there. My reactions have to be 100% on point. My ability to judge distance and control distance has to be on point. And nothing he could have told me can determine if that's going to happen. My coach is one of the best coaches in the world. He watches the fight, and you could see I can get just as much from watching it through Trevor's eyes as I can, talking to a former teammate. Mm-hmm. Practice and a fight are two different things. Some of us can turn it on, and some of us cannot. I have some of the best athletes in the world in my gym, and when they step in the cage, it's a different world. They have a hard time turning it on. For one reason or another, that is not a factor for me. I am a show-off, a performer, and I look forward to the chaos that will ensue on Saturday night. And that is who I am. It's who I've been since day one, and I think that's why they pay me what they pay me. That's why I'm in in these positions that I'm in.
We'll be coming to a nickname as Chaos, but maybe you have to steal it, because there it is. Justin, we appreciate you, brother. Best of luck on Saturday. It's going to be an unbelievable fight. Can't wait to see it. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, man. Thanks for your time.